Hey friends, it's me, the Ebony Otaku, the well-rounded nerd. 2021 was not nice to me. I really wanted to give this YouTube thing a go. I think if I had been able to give it more time and attention, that I could have really, built my channel up last year. But unfortunately, life happened. And then it just kept happening. And every time I thought life would calm down and I could go back to having fun with videos, building my channel, interacting with people, life would happen again. um, you know, Adulthood, man, it's a drag and it gets in the way of all of the things that we want to do with our time. And replaces it with the things we have to do with our time. Y'all like my Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid hat? I'm sporting my Lukoa hat today. I do intend to hit some cons this year because some of my fun stuff I wanted to do last year I didn't get to do because life. And this is part of that fun stuff. So I've got a whole Lukoa outfit, who is one of my favorite characters, by the way. We share certain traits. That's all I'm saying. But anywho, just to, not be fully transparent, I'll be opaque. Last year I had a couple of health issues that cropped up. Like literally January 1st last year, I ended up in the hospital with diverticulitis. And then I was in there for a week and they thought they got the infection, like I was good. And then some months went by and I was doing good with YouTube. Work was going great. Like everything was going great. And then bam, it came back. It came back like 3 times. And they're like, nope, we're gonna have to fix that with surgery. And they thought I'd only be down for like a couple of days and then out of the hospital. I spent over 2 weeks in the hospital following that surgery. And then I was home recovering for like another month. Like it was a whole thing. It was a thing. So that whole thing stole like 6 weeks of my life last year. And then towards the end of 2021, well, not the very end, but like the last of the third quarter into the fourth quarter, my closest friend in real life, she became ill with that which shall not be named. So I was helping her family out quite a bit, and also helping a lot with my Taekwondo school. We had a lot of instructors who were out sick, and I was still healthy. I'm fully vaxxed and all that kind of stuff. So I was able to, go in, keep teaching, just make sure things are running the way they're supposed to. We had people out a lot last year at work because of that which shall not be named. And, just had to fill in a lot in those real life situations, which kind of left my YouTube derelict. And I hated it. And then when my friend got sick, she got sicker and sicker. And then she came home for a little while. And then there was a complication she developed from it, which caused a blood clot. Didn't know that was a thing from the thing. Apparently it is. And one of those blood clots broke free and caused a brain aneurysm and stroke, and it took her out just before Christmas. So, yeah, a lot has happened. And, it takes a lot to get through things like that. First, I have my own health battles to worry about, and then the closest person in my life outside of like my parents went through health issues, but she wasn't able to overcome hers. So I've been in the process of helping her family sort through some things and just get all of that post stuff taken care of. But that got me thinking a little bit more, especially in the past few weeks since things have happened and now things have settled down, why doing YouTube is something I wanted to do in the first place. Because I think escapism is important. Real life is always happening. We can't edit real life. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen with us, to us, for us, around us, whether we want it to or not. And the human brain needs a vacation, and not everybody can, go to Universal Studios for a week. Not everybody can afford to go out to a cabin in the woods away from the world. All of these things cost time and money. The gentleman that I'm dating, we want to go and take a trip to Disney this summer, but he's hourly and I'm salaried. I can take the trip. He might not be able to because of his job situation. And when I think about all of that, that makes escapism so much more important than it used to be in my life. Because if you can't physically get away, honey, you can get away in your mind. Take a vacation in your brain. You know, I wish sometimes that fans would be less fanny. That's not a word, not in the context I'm using it. And just let people who are part of a fandom enjoy the fandom without all of the extra minutiae and, oh, you didn't get this one little fact right, or you didn't say this word correctly, or no, well, let me explain to you why your joke isn't funny. Escapism is just that. The key word is escape. There is something in life or in our spirits and our minds that makes us feel trapped sometimes. And it's just good to step out of the real world and be in a fantasy world for a little while, where you're going to see the hero pull through. The girl's going to get the guy is going to get the girl, the hero that you're rooting for is going to save the day. Unless you watch Japan Sinks, then everybody's going to die. But, like take Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, for instance. Show is ridiculous. And this isn't a review, this is just an example. But that show is abso-friggin' ridiculous. Dragons that can take human form, and one of them, I guess, is royalty amongst dragons, and she chooses to live amongst humans because she got in a pissing match with her parents, basically. I mean, it's more than that, but, ran away from home and ran to the humans and then brought dragon problems to human world, and all these dragons follow her and they take on human forms. And the reason they all have, expanded memories, that's the nicest way I'm going to say that. I am a Baptist children's minister. The reason they all have expanded memories is because that's where their fire is. So they got an excuse for that. I'm like, and then the jokes of it all, these non-human creatures trying to learn to live in human society, getting things wrong. One of them turns into a complete otaku and, basically is almost a hikikomori, one of the most powerful dragons who hoards treasure, but, is all about the anime and video games now. Another one, even though she's 1,000 years old, is a small child in the human world and is going to school and all the kids love her, and one especially has a huge crush on her, and it's like she doesn't know, or she's just making fun of her. It's a whole thing. And to just sit there and watch these dragons and these humans trying to get along, and these dragons who aren't humans but they look like humans, and sometimes their tails are out and sometimes their tails aren't out, and sometimes they fly and sometimes they can't fly. People think they saw them. Oh, I can wipe your memory and make it. It's ridiculous, but it's fun. It's fun. Sometimes I want to watch Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask, spend 14 episodes trying to pretend they don't know who the other one is. I want to, watch again when the outer Sailor Scouts and the inner Sailor Scouts finally decide they're on the same team and they're going to fight together, and Sailor Saturn drops the silence glaive and Sailor Moon rushes into the big bubble and she comes out with baby Sailor Saturn. Everyone's like, oh, you really are the queen. Like, I'm there for it. I want to be with the hobbits as, they travel out of the Shire and, they go all the way to the Lonely Mountain, and then they have the great battle of 5 armies. I want to see it when, the Fellowship of the Ring is established, and be all in with Frodo, mostly Sam, and be all in with Frodo and Sam as they journey to take this ring and throw it into the fires of Mount Doom and Mordor, and all the stakes that have risen in throughout Middle Earth, and Gandalf and his no helping self. You want to be in another world for a little while. It's okay if your kid wants to escape to Hogwarts because they had a rough day at school. It's okay if you want to sink into a video game and go blast zombies in The Last of Us because work was that tough. It's okay to pick up a Warhammer book when you haven't been getting along with the family and just go watch the Space Marines do battle for a while. It's okay. We need to give ourselves permission as a society that the things that make us happy are okay. I know there's this new repopularization of nerd culture, but I don't think there really is such a thing as nerd culture. It's just pop culture. I mean, it wasn't just nerds who went to see Star Wars when it was released. Nobody knew what it was. Everyone went to see Star Wars. Star Trek was a very popular show, not just with nerdy people. You know, it lots of people love it. You know, during the Great Depression, you know what? One of the industries that didn't suffer, the movie industry. You know why? Because when you walked out your door and there's a dust bowl and tumbleweeds are blowing across the land and the kids are starving and you don't know where you can find work and blah, 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 and the world's falling apart. You know, we can go watch Dorothy and these, you know, weird characters try to find the Wizard of Oz who can solve all their problems, because I want all my problems solved. And for a minute, I don't have to think about all of my problems. That doesn't mean my problems disappeared, but my feelings, my emotions, my brain, they settled down for a little while. You know, I'm also a very religious person. I'm super Baptist. I know there's a lot of people out there who find comfort in religion that way. You know, when I'm super stressed, I also find comfort in my faith, very much so. But for me, faith is real life. It's still part of the real world. And when I just want to be separated from the real world, you know, I want to watch, you know, Hozuki take it to all the demons in Japanese hell and make them behave, because hell is a business now and it's run like a corporation. That's what I want to see. And that's okay. So I'm going to recommit to my YouTube channel in 2022, and I hope you'll come along with the ride. Contest is still valid. We're still doing that. 500 subscribers and the things. Everything I've said in the other videos. But I just want to find that time, because making it okay to enjoy these things is part of what I want to do. I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there. There's a lot of personalities in the nerd world. I mean, we all rejoiced when we found out Henry Cavill was a total weeb. Like, that's the best news ever. Talking about, I want to play Eisenhorn and the rest of it. We're like, what? You know what Space Marines are? That's great. You know? The whole world left their houses to go see Spider-Man, me included. You know, because we want escapism. We want to be taken to another world for a little while. And for those 2.5 hours, please make the next movie 3.5 hours. But for those few hours we're in the movie theater, nothing outside the movie theater is happening. And that's why we miss going to the movies so much. Watching them at home just isn't the same. Even bad movies seem good when you're in the theater, because it's the big screen and the sounds and the popcorn and the kids screaming. Like, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. And I miss those things. I'm going to double down my efforts on YouTube this year. I'm going to try to post once a week. Hopefully life will settle enough for me. And I honestly think, because of what I do for a living and the way I spent college and the rest of it, theater and English major, and I'm literally a speaker for a living. I think I can do a lot of these in one take without having to do all jump cuts and stuff. So I'm just going to practice my oration, and perhaps, you know, I can make it easier on myself that way. I do want to do cooking videos at some point. Y'all seen all the stuff that I cook with, but those are a little bit more involved, so that's probably going to take some more time. Plus, I need another camera for that. I bought a camera, and what I thought it was, and when I got it, they were not the same. So I need a different kind of camera. I bought the wrong camera. That's all it boils down to, and then waited too long to be able to send it back. Yeah, the things we learn. So I appreciate you. I saw that I actually hit 100 subscribers today, which I know in YouTube land that's nothing. But people subscribe without me uploading new videos. Thank you. So I'm going to give you more content. And we're going to talk about anime and books and Warhammer and fantasy and Harry Potter and Asian food and just all the escapist things that make us happy. And we're going to enjoy it. Because, you know, you don't have to criticize everything. Everything doesn't have to be a critique. Even if something's bad, you can enjoy it. So if you want to come to my channel and find like that full breakdown of all the analysis and Easter eggs, and not that girl. Could. English major. I can break. You don't want to go to the movies with me, I'll figure it out like that, because it's what we did. You know, but I prefer to just sit back and enjoy. And let's talk about why we enjoy it. And let's enjoy it together. You know, these past couple of years, they weren't just tough on me. They were tough on you too. They've been tough on everybody. And in this community of pop culture, nerd culture, let's be positive with one another and enjoy each other's hobbies, interests, and insights. I'm going to do my best. You do your best. So hopefully next week I'll be back with another video. Bye, friends.